Welcome
Welcome
to Shade in the
to in the
City.
city.
I'm your girl, Treese.
It's Nellz.
And today, y'all, we are jumping into B90, before the 90 days. I'm sorry. And that is season 6, episode. Don't get me lying. I said it was 12. It's episode 16. One crazy summer. And yeah, y'all, we know that you didn't get 15, and we'll wrap it all up in a nice little bow for you. But yeah, so if you haven't already, Shade Squad and our new viewers, please make sure you hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump into it because I do believe this was the finale of the season. And yeah, again, TLC, you're doing a lot better with the other way. We can definitely bring it next season. Let's bring it down to 45 minutes. I'm just saying. But yeah, let's get into it, y'all, and let's get shady. So the Klinger, Statler and
The
Dempsey,
Klingon.
they're having issues because Statler has let Dempsey know that she really doesn't want kids. And this is a deal breaker for Dempsey. So she's packing her ish and she's ready to leave the castle. And she's just not happy. Now, Dempsey is being naive, hoping that Statler will change her mind, but says that she wants to stay together because she loves her so much. Now, Statler is worried that Dempsey will leave her like her ex did once she returns home. And I think I would hope that once Dempsey gets some time to herself again, she'll come to her senses.
That's what she's scared of.
Right. So Statler and Dempsey return to Dempsey's house and they're both unsure about what the future holds. But they know they want to be together. And I said this was like a real bad episode of Ready to Love, ignoring red flags just to have someone. Now Dempsey Dempsey tells Statler that she wants her to move in with her. I cannot. She says she thinks it's a right step into the future. And Statler is, of course, overjoyed and surprised and shocked and, just happy she doesn't have to renew her lease. So Statler then leaves and she's worried that, as I said, Dempsey will change her mind when she gets home. And Dempsey says that, she does feel a little pressure to make her house more of a home, but or Statler friendly, as I said in my notes. But she thinks Statler will also have to learn to adapt. And that was Statler and Dempsey.
I'm confused because she made a comment about how she won't have cell service and Wi-Fi and stuff like that. But doesn't she work from home?
Oh, Statler?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's gonna have to get a new job. I don't know. Maybe that's why. Maybe she lost her job, and that's why she worried about this lease and renewing it. I don't know. But I imagine. Oh, again, her mom's like the mayor. I don't think she's worried about money. Do you think they'll be together by the tell-all, or still together at the tell-all?
As long as they're still over the phone.
Mm.
I think if they're in person, then no. Riley and Violet.
Nell's favorite.
I knew she was gonna say that. I was just waiting. So Riley said when he got back home, he got, some little nasty text from Violet talking about she don't want to be with him no more. And don't hit her up, block her number. She is done. Then a couple days later, this lady hit him up again, talking about how she wants to be back together. And he's like, I don't know what the hell to think. This lady done, I don't know what he was like, I thought we was done. So he said he don't know what he's gonna do. Then fast forward a few weeks later, she hit him with the I'm late text.
She said it's your child. I was
waiting.
And it really messed
him up. Now, his friend Tiffany, she is not happy about this at all because we know Tiffany really don't rock with Violet like that. She thinks she a liar, cheater, deceiver, heartbreaker.
Okay.
So, basically, she was like, okay, my thing is, I didn't even know they got down to get down. But apparently his last night there, she came knocking at his door.
She was smart. I think she planned that out and waited to the last night. And then I think, just my opinion, I think she was probably already pregnant, but we're going to try to pull this off.
But
Or
then why text him talking about she didn't want to be with him?
because maybe her other baby daddy said it ain't flying. So she said, well, let me, I'm just saying.
Well, apparently it went down at night. He said that didn't even why he went on the trip. He didn't expect to get nothing. He didn't expect to do nothing, but it was nice. They had a nice moment. Now that she's claiming to be pregnant, though, he said he got his doubts. Whatever medication his doctor put him on told him that he has less than a 1% chance of conceiving.
Now, I love when he said, there can be miracles. There can be miracles. Okay, that's what he said. When you believe.
Let's see if she achieved it, though. Now, basically, so he doesn't even really know if she's pregnant. He don't know if this is really his child. So what he told her was, listen, I'll pay for everything. Just go to this doctor that I found that speaks English. She refused. She said, I got my own doctor. So it's not, the math ain't math.
The math is not mathing.
He also said now, when they have conversations, it's never about the pregnancy. It's always about them. She was talking about their last night together. And then she finally came out the mouth and asked, why you don't just go ahead and ask me to marry you, sir? Red flags, red flags, red flags. Okay, flash your light.
And Tiffany knows she's trying to make her way to America.
She said, no, boo. She's just trying to be a citizen. That's all it is. And he don't necessarily believe that. Of course he doesn't. But he feels like, she might be playing him. But he really just wants to get to the bottom of everything.
Well, do you think they'll still be a nope. thing?
They're in the thing now. There wasn't a thing in this.
You think he changed his mind about her and said, oh.
I think she lied about being pregnant, period.
Oh. Well, that's a whole, I hear you. Now, to my least favorite. Okay, but
it wasn't always. It wasn't always.
But I will say, I like how she recovered, but I think it was very manipulative. But anyway.
She knew she had to recover.
Right. So we see Amanda's trying real hard to butter Razvan up before she leaves. It's her last day there. They both know the end is near, but are fighting to stay in a situation they both know is toxic as hell. They go for their final dinner, and she wants to know if he still wants to be in a relationship with her. Now, Razvan literally is on the cusp of basically telling her, nah, it's a lot. He's like, I love you, but at the same time, you're my worst enemy. And I was like, go ahead, just break the news to her. And then,
Amanda, like they call her clean off guard. She's like, oh.
What's about to happen? So she's like, hold on, let me give you this card before you
before you continue.
Right. And so the card is professing his love, her love, and apologizing for everything she's done. And so Razvan ends up telling her that he still wants to continue to be in the relationship. And as I love when my daddy says this, sucker. She then tells him she wants him to come to the US around Thanksgiving, which makes him even happier. And I said, that's why I said her recovery was, and so Amanda's just relieved she's not leaving single. She's leaving, she realizes that, what made me mad was she said, I realized that we wasted a lot of time bickering. No, you wasted a lot of time bickering. Okay. Razvan was just this is what he wanted from the start.
Yeah, I mean, it was her. It was her fault.
So Razvan is excited to go to America and meet her family since that's what he wanted from the beginning. And she vows to let him into her life 100%. And Amanda now realizes that it's okay for her to move on and be happy. And I said, well, I think you should have came to that before you left and got on the plane and went on this trip. But I'm happy that you got there, however you did. So kudos to you, Amanda.
You want to say it again?
What? Oh, your favorite couple? Favorite couple?
Jasmine and Gino. You know what? I feel like it's been like.
What did Jasmine do to her face?
She didn't have lashes on.
Was it that? Because she looked And I'm not saying she looked bad. She either looked like she was fresh faced or she had her face pulled. Like it wasn't either she
Oh,
had.
the only thing I noticed is she didn't have on her eye makeup and she didn't have on lashes. It makes a difference. I'm trying to tell you, it makes a difference.
I guess so, because I was like, she looked different.
Girl, so listen. So it's been about 5 months since Gino left Panama. But it's the day of Jasmine's visa interview. So they're both super excited. Dana, okay, even came over to support and help put up Panamanian decorations, and he's even wearing a Panamanian hat. I thought, okay, which I thought was pretty big of him because we know they don't mess with each other.
Right.
Gino is a little bit nervous because he knows that Jasmine is anxious about the interview, and he's worried, she don't handle stress very well. And that they may ask her something that may throw her off. But he says if everything goes well, she'll be here in like a week. So as expected, Jasmine is freaking the hell out. I think she was at her mama's house. I don't know where the hell she was. And I don't even know if she's still living in her apartment anymore after that last blow up. Gino,
right.
Screw you. But she's running around the house with a chicken with her head cut off. And I don't know who this girl was. I'm thinking it's her cousin because we already saw her sister. I don't know.
I said it was a friend. I didn't know who she was either.
I assumed that she was a family member, but she drove her to the embassy. Now the entire way there, she's basically expressing how she wants her to be happy because she's the light of the family. And, but she always seems to be crying with Gino. But, she says if that's what she wants, she hopes that it works out for her. But if it doesn't, she made a promise to come back. Bring your ass back here. Okay. And of course, they both get super emotional because, her entire family is going to miss her. Now, Jasmine's super nervous going in. Hour and a half later, she calls Gino bawling, crying. She's like, I'm never going to see you again.
The dramatics of it all.
Dramatic. So after waiting an hour and a half, the embassy basically told her there was a problem with processing. So they couldn't do her interview and they took her paperwork. Apparently, I guess maybe this is a bad thing. I don't know much about their process. I would have thought that it could just be rescheduled, but who the hell am I? I don't know anything, whatever. But basically, while basically she's, ready to give up, while Gino is basically telling her, that he's going to get to the bottom of it and just trying to reassure her that it's not over just yet. The fight is not over. Okay. Now, she said that she wished she could have the same positive attitude that he does, but she can't. So she didn't get the hell off the phone. She put that bad juju on his ass. And yeah, she says at this point she's just ready to give up. Like I said, I don't know much about the process, but I would assume if they having problems processing stuff, that's nobody's fault. And I would think maybe they would reach back out to give you, or I don't know why she didn't ask. Like, so are we going to reschedule this? What's the
Well, that's what Gino was asking her, and she was just again so dramatic. Oh, and I mean, again, y'all, don't feel too. And we see on the tell-all in the preview that she clearly made it to America. We know that she's here. Woohoo!
It was just I was just like, why was she crying? You would have thought they told her, hell no, she ain't going.
Right.
Hell no, you ain't go.
But again, we know Jasmine is overly dramatic. So then let's get to Meisha and Nikola. Now, Nicola. Now, Nikola wants to propose to Meisha, but isn't sure that she'll say yes after everything that they've gone through on her trip. He proposes in the middle of a market without a ring and says that they can go out and buy one. Now, she does hesitantly say yes after he asked her a few times. And then, she said that, she was still in shock because he did it in public. And she says that, she doesn't have all the answers, but she's going to go for it. I said, I just hope this is never me at my big age. Just desperation. So, and I don't understand why, because she's a very beautiful woman, but, they go to the jewelry store to get her a ring. Niccolo tries to act like he got it and he basically said, throw it in the bag.
The dude said, I normally start by asking, what's your budget? He said, whatever she wants.
He said, there is no budget. But there was. There was. He was telling lies. And so when she finally does pick out a ring that ends up being about 1,700 US dollars, he says that that's far away from his budget and asks for a discount, and he'll pay cash and ask for the ring for 1,200. And so the jeweler agrees, and he reproposes again with the ring. But how unattractive was that?
That's what she said. She was like, I mean, it was beautiful when he proposed, but now we're in here talking about money over this damn ring. Like,
we over here haggling in front of me. That's not what I know. So Meisha is trying to talk to Nikola on their way to the airport as she's about to leave. And she's like, oh, I want you to get a tourist visa so you can come over. We can have an engagement party in the US, and then you can stay there, and we can wait for the annulment. And Nikola doesn't want to open the door for the devil. Okay. So he thinks that, Misha's like, he's a little bit detached and I don't understand, but we find her still getting emotional when she leaves Nikola in tears. And it's like, oh, but I love him so much. And I was just like, again, the desperation and delusion of it all. Oh, and here's another delusional one. Another favorite.
I don't know how I ended up with these people. It's like back to back to back. I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's every time we record.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
It's her Virgo sister.
My Virgo sister. Cleo and Christian. So Christian is packing up to head back home. Cleo is having a complete meltdown. Okay. She can't even get word out without crying. She says that she knows that they've had their issues and their tough times, but the good outweighs the bad. And he agrees. Of course he does, because the bad was him. Now she can hardly, basically, like I said, say two sentences without breaking down crying. He tries to make, some jokes before hopping in the Uber. It really didn't work. She's still super upset. Literally, as soon as the door closes to this car, she's in the middle of the street breaking down. You'd act like she had never gotten on a day before in her life.
Oh, she was so broken.
She was so broken. Now, he did say once he got on the plane that he sent her a text, let her know that he missed her already. But he doesn't really know how he's going to feel once he gets back stateside. So he said, we shall see. I got other things to get into once I get back home.
Well, do you think they'll be still a thing by the tell-all?
I think everybody could potentially still be a thing as long as they ain't living together. Things can go amazing
if they go, but yeah, if they go back to where they were.
Yeah, because they was great over the phone. But who knows? I mean, she won't know about him going out. Well, I don't know, because he be snitching on himself too. So who the hell knows? I think as long as they haven't moved in together or spent an extended time together, they'll be fine.
And the reason why I didn't say anything about Meisha and Nikola is because we know, based off the previews from Tell All, that they clearly are still together, and her daughters ain't here for whatever he trying to bring over here. So that's going to be very interesting. So yeah. But Shade Squad, thank you so much for tuning in to another review of Before the 90 Days. If you have not already, please make sure that you hit that like button.
You comment.
You subscribe.
And you hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And yeah, make sure you're hitting those notification bells so you know when we're going live. But yeah, we appreciate the support and the love, Shade Squad. And we will catch you in a couple days for hopefully a live review of Tell All of Before the 90 Days. Bye-bye.
Good night.